So today is our last day in Busuanga. When we arrived, we saw somewhere that we wanted to go back to.
We kind of saw it from the airplane as we came in, and we were like, wow, that looks like an awesome bay with like blue water, no development. So we dropped a pin in a map, and then we've hired some bikes. We are on a mission to find this hidden, gorgeous bay. So Busuanga Island is not the biggest of the Filipino islands, or the Philippine islands. It's also not the smallest. It's a really good size to like keep you busy, plenty of things to explore and do over a few weeks, but small enough that it's still really laid back, really chilled out. You can easily hire a scooter, and the roads are quite quiet. You can get about easily. It's got a really nice feel to it, which is one of the reasons that we decided we would come and do this exploration and try and find this bay, is because the island is small enough to do that. It is actually quite a long way from the south of Busuanga to the north, so from Coron Town up onto the north coast. It's like 40 kilometers, but it takes quite a long time on a motorbike when you have to take the dusty roads. And it gets really hot and sweaty, which is why we have to pit stop. But we've got cold Coke, cold Sprite, and there's an interesting game over here which looks kind of like a cross between air hockey and pool. I've never seen a game played like that before. They call it pool. It looks like it's just locally made with like wood, and then they put talcum powder so they have like a very smooth shiny surface, and then I guess they're like stone discs with numbers on. The way that they were playing the game is you had cards, so you took a hand of 7 cards, and the cards would relate to the numbers of discs that you had to pot to complete your hand. I only had 4 holes, 1 in each corner. I didn't think they were very good at aiming things, and then when I realised that they were doubling discs against each other to pot and still get the right ones on their hand, obviously they're far better at it than I gave them credit for when I first started watching.
So this is what we saw from the plane. Beautiful turquoise waters and quite definitely some reef. Unfortunately, so far the land between the road and that beautiful turquoise water has an awful lot of private property, no trespassing signs on it. So we're going to carry on and see if we can find a way down there. If not, we have a plan B. So we went with our plan B, which was to come back to Cashew Grove, where we learnt to dive 4 years ago. Everything just had private property, so it didn't look like we'd get down to the beach, and the beach is just here, so we thought we'd pop in, have some lunch and see what it looks like. It still looks exactly the same as it did 4 years ago.
So if we remember correctly, Cashew Grove has a really nice house reef with loads of like cool macro life on it and quite a bit of fish life. So they've added a floating platform out here in the bay now, so we're going to try and swim out to that and do some snorkeling around that. Cashew Grove is just as gorgeous as I remember it, and we loved the snorkeling out here before. Having gone back out there, it is really beautiful. Actually, you go through like quite shallow water and seagrasses, and then once you pop over the top of that, there is some really healthy coral, and there's big corals as well. Lots of coral growth, tons of fish. It looks really, really cool. Special treat for us was to see a pair of, I think they're dusky pipefish, but it was really cool to see the two pipefish like right next to each other, one slightly smaller than the other, like nestling around each other. They were really cool if we want to try and get back onto the tarmac before the sun properly goes down.
This road is so dusty. Look at me.
Big seahorses, massive, big seahorses? Big starfishes.